Good afternoon, and first let me welcome Malalai for us, Khosh Ahmadid to Berkeley, and welcome for being here with us today. I think our engagement with Afghanistan has been long-standing, not only in this current period, but beginning before 1979. The U.S. engagement in the politics and the inner dynamics of Afghanistan has been ongoing, and we can say it has been overall for positive, rather the consequences of war, destruction, and politics of power have impacted not only Afghanistan, but all the region that we are focusing on today. Briefly, let me introduce Malalai Joya. She is 35 years old, first gained international attention in 2003 when she spoke out publicly against the domination of warlords in Afghanistan. And now for many who don't know that our alliance with warlords in Afghanistan is very well established, and we always try to find the best warlords to engage in. That's been our politics of discourse in Afghanistan, in Latin America, in Africa, in the Middle East. So you could say that we have an affirmative action, equal opportunity discourse when it comes to warlords. She was at the time serving as an elected delegate to the Loya Jirga, and the Loya Jirga is the traditional way of Afghan getting together with tribal leaders and community leaders to determine the affairs of the society, and she was one of those delegates to the Loya Jirga. That was one of those initial places to ratify the U.S. Constitution of Afghanistan, courtesy of our own contribution to writing the constitutions of nations, not only Afghanistan, Iraq. We wish that we actually could write our own constitution and adhere to it. In 2005, she became one of the 68 women elected to the 248th National Assembly, which is the parliament, the Afghanistan parliament. She was the youngest member of the Afghan parliament at the time. She's an extraordinary woman, raised in the refugee camps of Iran and Pakistan. And both Iran and Pakistan have the largest number of Afghan refugees as a result not only of 79 revolution, but 79 Russian invasion, but also of the current period. And to mention in here, the Bay Area has the largest concentration of Afghan population outside the borders of Afghanistan. So if you take Iran, Pakistan out, the Bay Area has one of the largest concentration of Afghans in the area of Hayward, Newark, Concord, Walnut Creek, all the way to the East Bay, numbering in 30, possibly to 40,000. She actually taught, became a teacher in secret school, in girls' schools, and she actually hid her books in her burqa so the Taliban could not find them and confiscate them. So you could say that the burqa was handy as a subversive instrument for education. She helped establish a free medical clinic and orphanage in her impoverished home province of Farah. So she's not only theoretically engaged in the work of resistance, but actually have undertaken some meaningful projects. In 2007, she spoke against former warlords and war criminals in the Afghan parliament and was thereupon suspended from the parliament. Since then, she has survived 6 assassination attempts. It's almost as equal as possibly the threats to Obama's life, but that's a different issue. And therefore, to actually engage in the politics of Afghanistan is something that will earn you often not only the threat of assassination, but actual attempts that often succeed. She travels in Afghanistan with armed guards and has worked tirelessly on behalf of Afghan women and to end the occupation of her country. In 2010, the Time magazine placed Malalai Joya on their annual list of the 100 most influential people in the world. Foreign Policy magazine listed her in its annual list of the top global thinkers. And in March 2011, The Guardian listed her among the top 100 women activists and campaigners. Her widely praised book, and I emphasize the book is in here for many of you who would like to read something that is meaningful, I encourage you after the lecture to take the book and get also the book signed. She will be here to facilitate that for you, so we have enough copies for you. Her widely praised book, A Woman Among Warlords, The Extraordinary Story of an Afghan Who Dared to Raise Her Voice, was published in 2009, and the book version was published by Simon & Schuster, and it's available with us today. Now, before Malalai Joya speaks with us, I would like to invite Jeff Mackler, who's been really behind the effort on her national speaking tour. And Jeff Mackler is very well known to us here in the Bay Area. It's part of the anti-war effort for many years, and I'd like to invite him to say a few words before the introduction.